Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sportsville Jersey. Joe Archino back here, and the excitement is finally starting to come back to Manchester United Football Club. And really, it's all because of one young 18-year-old, Marcus Rashford, the young gun who has taken the football world by storm with his 2 goals in the Europa League, and then with 2 goals helping Man United secure a massive win against Arsenal this past weekend. But really, the biggest thing that made the headlines was when he became the youngest scorer ever to score 2 goals in the Europa League just last week. And to really follow that up with 2 goals against Arsenal, one of the league leaders in the Premier League this season, is really an incredible thing. And really, you look at Man United this season, and they have massively underachieved. I mean, really, Louis van Gaal, the body language of him as well as the club has been very down this season. There has not been a lot of excitement coming out of that club. The excitement has come out of Leicester City and out of Tottenham, who continues to steadily climb. And before the season, and even the first half of the season, Manchester City with their surging start, and they really have crashed back down to reality since then. But still, the excitement, these storylines have not been coming out of Man United for the positive reasons. Now it seemed like they've needed a spark all along. And it seems like finally it has come from someone we did not expect it to come from. But the excitement, it is starting to come back there, because you can't go anywhere right now without hearing the name Marcus Rashford. And sometimes that is what you need. I think this season kind of has to be defined as it is what it is for Manchester United. Maybe right now, they find themselves in fifth place behind Manchester City. Maybe you were able to leapfrog Manchester City at some point. But you do have a March 20th match of the next Manchester Derby at the Etihad, but I don't think Manchester City scares anyone at this point, especially in the Premier League this season. They have shown the inability to hold the competitive advantage against any of the top clubs. Against Leicester, a draw and a loss. Against Arsenal, a loss. And against Tottenham Hotspur, they have lost both times. So if you are Manchester United, you don't look at that match, aside from it being a very tough match as it always is, but I don't think you look at that and you're scared any more than you would be for anything else, because Manchester City, again, they just have not shown that competitive advantage that has you shaken in your boots. But one of the things I think you also have to look out for here is the future. I think the future is where Manchester United has to kind of look towards, because we know what the storylines have been. Jose Mourinho, the second that things went south with Chelsea and he was shown the way out, we all kind of linked it together. Manchester United, Jose Mourinho, he has held all the top jobs in football. This would just be another one on the list at Old Trafford. And it seems like there was reports just weeks ago that he wrote a letter expressing his desire for the job, outlining his plan to get the club back to where it wants to be. It seems like to have a young star in the making like a Marcus Rashford. And again, it's one of those things where we've seen this in 2 matches. How does he move and progress forward from here? But clearly, you have to say that to do what he did on the stage of on the magnitude of a stage like the Europa League, and then to follow it up with not just a Premier League match against a Norwich City. This is against Arsenal, the third best club in the Premier League this season. He has done it in big spots against big clubs, and that right there is a great indicator and a great sign. You just have to keep his head moving in the right direction, and certainly make sure that the immediate success doesn't go to his head, because I think we do see that sometimes. You have a young star who automatically comes up and has that immediate success, and then the work ethic isn't as intense. They don't put in as much effort when it comes to that, because they feel like they have already gotten where they have been because of their talent, and they don't really need to add more pieces to that talent. The great ones are never content with where they are. They always are trying to expand and add more elements to their game. And I think for Rashford, he has to just keep on keeping his head in the right direction, because from what we have seen so far, even Louis van Gaal saying he is a special talent, it's one of those things where you need to hone that talent and keep it moving in the right direction. But the future is certainly the word right now, I think, for Manchester United. They finally have the excitement, the word excitement, back in their corner. Jose Mourinho very well might be the next man there, and if he is, I mean, the sky is certainly the limit. He really can take any win and make them into a winner. It doesn't always work for a prolonged period of time because it just happens in world football. The egos sometimes aren't able to work with the manager for too long. Some guys are better at managing the egos than others. I think Jose Mourinho sometimes it works with certain players. It doesn't work with certain players. That's just the way of it that it is. But he has had success everywhere he has ever been. He's as good as it gets, and certainly with his name there and with a young star in the making like Marcus Rashford, the future looks good for Manchester United. This season, I think, is just closing it out and seeing what you can do. But this has been a very unpredictable season as from start to finish for the Premier League, and certainly this is just another one of those things. But biggest of all, Manchester United needed some excitement. Marcus Rashford has added that excitement, brought it back to Man United, and they certainly have what they have been looking for some time. But until we see next time, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino, and I'll see everybody next time.